Welcome to this episode of CynSpeaks. In this episode, we're going to talk about the importance of knowing yourself. This is probably the most important topic that I'll ever talk about, because it is about you and your soul and yourself and knowing you and why you are the way you are and why you do the things you do. There is nothing more important to you than you. And that is what we're going to talk about today. So I'm so excited because this episode will help you feel like you are allowed to spend time and energy learning about yourself. So first, let me talk about what we are. Humans are actually souls that are having a human experience. And the minute that you think of us as souls that are living as humans, as opposed to humans that have souls, the whole foundation of how you look at self is different. You are a soul, and you were inserted into a body. I don't know the technicalities as far as exactly how that works, but I can say that you are exactly where you are supposed to be at this moment in time for your journey. You may not be where you are desiring to be, and that's okay, but you are where you're supposed to be. And whatever you're going through, you will come out of it if you choose to. And I hope that you do. You have the ability to do so. And most likely, whatever it is that you're dealing with and whatever it is that you're going through, most likely that is to grow you and to shape you and prepare you for something that is better. If you are going through a tough relationship, if you are going through a breakup, if you are going through loss of any type, most likely that was put into your life experience to help you grow and to help you learn. Your situation could be put into your life for you to meet somebody specific that may help you grow or that may move you forward. Or maybe it's for you to help somebody else in the future. You really just don't know in the moment of going through something why you're going through that. I've a couple of times felt the, why me? What did I do to deserve this? As opposed to a much more accurate thought of, okay, how is this going to help me in the future? And that's really hard to see in the moment. That's so difficult to see in the moment. But as you get through it, think about what you've been through like that. All of these incredible experiences that I've had in my life are now at 30 for me becoming so crystal clear. Everything that I have been through is now being used and brought up again for the help of others. And for that purpose, it makes everything I've been through worth every minute of pain and suffering, which I did to myself a lot of the time. But me going through it over and over and over again, whatever it was, I went through so many things. Some things I put myself through a couple times, but the things that I've been through, I can now use as tools, and I can draw from those experiences to help you. So for me, it made it all worth it, because if I can just help one person through a similar situation, then my pain was worth it. So It may sound crazy if you're in the middle of it, but I promise you that this was not for no reason. It was for something. So just push through. I can also say that probably my most difficult hurt or trauma, or the one that was hardest for me to deal with, it probably wasn't the worst one, but it was the hardest for me to deal with, actually benefited me the most. So when I felt like everything was stripped away and I had no one and I had nothing, which in reality I didn't have no one, I chose to kind of push everyone away. But in that moment, it required me to look within myself. And for the first time in my life, I was forced to get to know myself. And I've lived a life that I haven't gotten many opportunities to spend time on myself, just because of the way my life has been structured historically. So I've been through a lot of stuff, and now I get to sort through it all because I've already been through it. And now I'm getting to know myself after all of that stuff. So my experience is my experience, and it's perfect for me, but I'm thankful for all of it. And I'm thankful for now knowing me. And I want you to know that it is so important to know you. And it is so important to take the time knowing and learning you, because you are no good to any other soul if you do not know your own. If you do not know your strengths and weaknesses, there is no way that you can be a contributing partner with somebody else. If you have kids and you lost yourself in the relationship or in being a mother, which is so easy to do, you're not being the best parent you can be because you don't know yourself. And it's important to take time to get to know yourself somehow, some way, and get creative with how you find that time. Because so few people really know themselves and know who they are. Few people know why they're here. As important as that topic is, so few people recognize the reason that they were put on this earth. Some people don't have a clue, or some people don't even believe that they were put here for a reason. And if you are one of those people, I want you to know that you were here. You were put here for a reason. I promise you, you were put here for a purpose. It was not for no reason. So use that knowledge to get to know you and get to know, or at least attempt to get to know, why you were put here. Sometimes you were put here to heal something. Sometimes that thing that you are here to heal was, depending upon your beliefs, past life karma or generational trauma. It could be to fulfill a purpose and to help people. So it just depends on what you believe. But I can tell you it's for a reason. You were put here for a reason. And spending time investigating that is so important. So I'm big on the how. How you learn yourself is simply spending time with yourself. And when I say spending time with yourself, that doesn't necessarily mean time independent of other people. Because yes, it's important to spend time alone, but you can still spend time with yourself even if you're around other people. And here's an example. If you are around a group of people and somebody says something or does something and it triggers something in you that doesn't feel right, you get upset, you have an emotion that doesn't seem logical to what just happened, you want to check on yourself. And even in a group setting, or even when you're around other people, you can stop talking and just listen to yourself and just sit there for a second. Think about, okay, why do I feel this way about this? I wonder why that triggered me. And you can even think about it in the moment. So that's an opportunity to just either think about it in that moment or take that and meditate on that in your meditation that evening. I also am a strong believer in daily meditation. If you can't fit it into any other part of your day, at the end of your day, before you go to sleep, shut off the TV, because TV is inputting information into our brain and into our experience. Shut off the TV, because that has nothing to do with you. TV is great. I love Netflix, but shut that off and spend time with yourself. You can put on music. I like meditation music, but I'm a music person, so you can put on some music, or you can sit in silence and simply clear your head of thought and just focus on your breath. That's the easiest way to do it. And just see what you need to know about yourself. And things will come to you. You'll have a random thought that does pop into your head. Explore that a little bit. Well, why do I feel that way? I wonder why I feel that way. I wonder what happened that made me feel that way. Just start to explore your thoughts and see what you can learn about yourself. And also, you'll start to discover some of the thoughts and beliefs that you have or have been holding on to that, for one, aren't real, or for two, they're not relevant to you. So a lot of our thoughts are programmed by our experiences or by the things we see or read or listen to. And they're not real, they're not valid, and we don't have to give life to them, but so often we do, because we don't know that we have that choice. You have a choice of what thoughts you choose to promote into beliefs. And that doesn't have to be every single thought that pops into your head. Some thoughts that pop into your head, you want to just let them pass through. Okay, I don't relate to you, so you can go, right? Like the relatives that you don't so get along with. Okay, great, nice to meet you, bye, right? So you want to allow those thoughts to pass through if they don't align with what you want your belief system to be. We have this, I call it a mean girl in our head that says things about us that aren't true, that are negative, and you can choose to believe that. Oh, I'm so ugly, right? There's a thought, oh, why does my head look like that? I have a big forehead, I don't really care. But if I had a thought in my head that said, oh, your forehead's too big to wear your hair like that, I'd be like, oh, you're not allowed to stay. I'm not giving you a home in my head. You can go. A big old forehead. But like, you get to decide what you shape your belief system to be, and that's based upon your thoughts. So you decide what thoughts are allowed to stay, what thoughts are allowed to go. I want you to also know that you are a soul that has an experience to be had. So if you're not living in the moment and you're not paying attention to the things that you think and believe, you're not really living this experience to the fullest potential. So make sure that you are being mindful of your time and how you're spending your time with yourself. I also am a huge advocate for spending time away and alone. And if you can get this time weekly, it will benefit you so much. I know not everybody has that opportunity, but before you give your time to others, make sure you take a little bit of time for yourself. And before you're always hanging out with your friends, make sure you spend time with yourself. And it's so important and crucial to your well-being that you do that. It really needs to come first. And that could mean if your finances allow it, get away, get a hotel. It could be a staycation in the same state, and just go by yourself and go for the night and for 24 hours and just remove yourself from everybody else. Shut down your social media for a day. Like, I promise you, it will still be there when you log in. Like, it's not going anywhere. Instagram's not going anywhere. Facebook isn't going anywhere. Give yourself 24 hours to just be with you and do whatever you want to do. Don't ask permission from just live your life for 24 hours and read whatever you wanted to read, but also spend time doing nothing. And that time where you're doing nothing is when you can really get to know you. And I'm telling you, it's the most beneficial time. You'll feel so rejuvenated, and you'll feel so full that you will be such an amazing person to your people after that. If you spend this time by yourself, when you come back to your husband or your wife or your children or your friends even, they're going to see something different. They're going to be like, okay, you look refreshed. You're going to be so much more happy to be around them. You're going to be so much more happy with yourself, so that you're not leaning on this other entity for your well-being or your stability. You're going to be a great contributor. So you owe it to the people you love. You owe it to yourself, which you also need to love, to spend some time with you. Get to know you. Get to know the depths of your soul. Like, get to know you better than anybody else knows you. And you are allowed to do that. And it is so necessary for you to do that. You are allowed to spend that time for you, and you are allowed to take time to figure out who you are and what works for you and what you need and what you can give. Like, you have to evaluate that regularly. So spend time with yourself, really get to know you. As you're going through that journey, I would love to hear about it. Comment on the Instagram post with like notes for your journey or through your journey. If you have questions, soon I'll be opening up my Instagram inbox for Q&A, and I'll do that probably weekly at least, if not more often. So we can dialogue about this, and if you need suggestions or thoughts on how you can do that more, I have a million ways that you can spend time with you, take walks, spend time in nature, spend time with your hobby, whatever it is. But I do this a lot because I realized I kind of ran myself dry by not paying attention to me. And I don't want that to happen to any of you. So as always, follow me on Instagram at Cynamon Voe in the show notes. Share this episode, tag your friends. Let's grow together. Until next time.